Okay, first I'm gonna go and get my image. I'm gonna. Oh, why do I have this here? Hold on. So, in this case, I'm going to start with a. I'm gonna go to Google. Let me just go steal. Well, actually, let's go to Wikipedia. I'm gonna get some text too. So I like to steal from Wikipedia. So what are we doing? Nathan Explosion. There it is. Nathan Explosion. There he is. So again, 2007 was the start of Death Clock. And so Nathan Explosion is this one. And so mine is going to be Nathan Explosion. So I want to take this text as well. So let me copy this text. And let me put it into Word for now. So I'm going to get some text. I'm going to put it in Word. Oh, remember when you paste, you don't have to paste with the links. Paste special. There we go. So the reason why I put it in Word is maybe to adjust it a little bit. I don't know. It looks pretty good as it is. So let me save this. This is my text. This is my text. Let me make a new folder. This is person app. And let me save this as text. So I have some text. Let me go steal some images. Let me go to Google. And let me type in images and Nathan Explosion. And so, which one you want to use? Young Nathan. There's animated GIF. I'm gonna do it in Photoshop. I just want one that has a little higher resolution here. Yeah, size. Let's do large. There we go. This one's pretty good. It has a logo. Somebody put a logo on there. That's pretty good. So I'm going to copy this into Photoshop, and I'll show you how to crop it and then save it as the 3 different sizes. So I'm going to steal this one by right-clicking on it and saying Copy Image. Right-click, Copy Image. I'm going to go to Photoshop. I have Photoshop in the dock down here. Yeesh. People don't use Photoshop in this room. Where's Photoshop? Do we even have Photoshop? Okay, so in this case, I'm going to put my image in there by saying File, New, and then pasting is Command V. There we go. So again, I stole from the internet. I know I stole from the internet. Whatever. The first thing I want to do is make a square because my image is going to be square in my my app. So again, to make the image square, I can use the crop tool, which is right here, and I can say 1:1 ratio, 1:1, and then crop it that way, 1:1, and move it around the window. How about that? There we go. Okay, so I have a square image that I'm going to use here. I want to save it in 3 different sizes. How you save it for 3 different sizes is you name it properly. And Xcode will recognize all three of them and put them in the proper spot. So, you guys know how to use Photoshop?
How did you import the image? Did you have to just copy image and
I'll do it again. Okay. I just copied it from the internet. So here we go. I'm going to steal.
About the copy part, but then
So again, let me steal from the internet again. So here we go. I want to use one of these images. Okay. I can right click, copy image. When I go over to Photoshop, I can say File New. File, because it's recognizing the copy size. Right? So File New. Just hit Create. And then paste is Command V. And I can put it in there, or you go under Edit Paste as well. Paste. And you have it in there. And then to make it square, I was using the crop tool, which is the third one here, crop tool. And if I want it square, I can put in 1:1 ratio right here, or square. There's also ratio here. It's a pull down menu. You can see them right there. And you can make it square. And then I just cropped it a little bit like that. And then you hit the move tool to make it take effect. This one right here, the move tool is the last one. If you click on that, it says, hey, do you want to crop? And you say, yeah, I want to crop. And boom, you have it nice and square. So see if you can make a square one for your thing. I'll pause for a moment. And I'm going to save this for Xcode. To save it for Xcode, you go underneath File, Export, Export as PNG. No, don't do that. File, export, export as. How about that? There we go. File, export, export as. File, export, export as. You'll notice there's the transparency for a PNG, but I don't have a transparent layer. Remember we talked about transparency, so it doesn't really matter here because don't have a transparent. But look over here. Do you see your 1x right there? Do you see it right there? Okay, so to add a new one, see the little plus right here? I'm going to click the plus, and this is 0.5, but I want the 2x, so 2x. And so this is at 1x, so give that at 1x, at 2x. See how it has the at sign right there as well? And then do one more, and then we want 3x. So there's a little plus up there, and you can add all three. Why is there so many different ones in there between that? Because Android has what? 5, 6 different sizes, right? So all the ones in there that you see 1.5 and all that is for Android. For Apple, you just need the 1x, 2x, and 3x. You see that up there. So when you export, it'll actually make them automatically with the proper name for you and everything. And when you import it, it'll import it into Xcode with all three of them. So again, it's in the upper corner there. Illustrator has the same kind of thing where you can export out as 3 different ones for that as well. You can say what size. It doesn't really matter here if you're going to resize stuff. You can resize stuff. You can make a window inside of Xcode and then have it fit that window. So what I'm trying to say is I make this a dimension in Xcode. Then I can take the picture and have it fit that window, or I can have that window be bigger and crop out. I think I was talking about that last class where you might have an image that is kind of long and skinny like this, but your window is square, right? Square, right? Maybe this is square, but your image is bigger. You can move it around and crop out that area. So you can crop inside of Xcode. It's like having a window. And then you can move your image around in that window and then choose what you want to be displayed. This is square, so it's going to be nice and easy. We'll have a nice square thing here. But what I'm trying to say is pixel dimension doesn't really matter at this point because we can change the size in Xcode. If that makes any sense. So again, I have all three right there at 1x, at 2x, at 3x. And I'm going to save that by export all. It doesn't know where I want to save it, so I'm going to put it in my Person app here, and then say export. I failed to give it a name, so it's going to be called Untitled because I didn't save it. Do you see how it says Untitled up here? See how it says Untitled 1? Because I never named it. So if I look at my files on my desktop now, if I look at my files on my desktop, notice how it says Untitled 1x Untitled, because I never named it. I should have named it before I did that, because when you export out, it takes whatever name of your file and puts it there at the beginning. You can change that if you want. I could have called it Nathan or whatever. But leave the at 1x, at 2x, at 3x. Okay, so I have all three. I'm ready to go into Xcode. Again, let me get to the lesson here that they got in the book here. Okay, so we're going to jump to, this is where we build it. It's called Lesson 2.0. It's kind of introduction to how to bring images in and do that is this lesson here. So most of this reading is about the user interface. Again, you have text, you have images, you have buttons, you have labels. So that's what they're talking about in this area here. See buttons, labels, control bar, scroll view. Remember I talked about scroll view, where scroll view is an actual part of the UI where you can put something in and have it scroll within a window. It's basically a window. So again, the thing is called UI kit. Whenever you start your Xcode, it's going to start with the UI kit installed, if you remember. So let's just get started. I'm going to start with my Xcode, and I'm going to start with a new project. So in Xcode, I'm going to say File, New, Project, right there. File, New, Project. In this case, we're making a single view app, right here, single view app. I'm going to say Next, and of course, this is going to be Person App. Person App. It's the name of what I'm going to give it. I'm going to hit Next. It's asking me where I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it in my folder where my other apps are at. It's also good to save in the same area where your images are. I think, did I save my images in here? I don't know where I saved my images. Whoosh. Oh, I put them on the desktop. Let's not worry about that right now. I'm just going to save it here in my folder. Again, the first thing I'm going to do is change from Universal to iPhone. So again, just like before, under General, I'm going to change it to iPhone only.
iPhone XR?
I just chose iPhone right here. You got iPhone, iPad, Universal.
No, at the top. It's the person on the left top. Right there. Above it. The phone XR. Do you want to leave it phone XR?
Oh no, I put the 8 in there. That's what I'm going to do. But so yeah, I choose 8 here. Another common option is this icon. This app icon tends to mess things up sometimes. Don't mess with that right now. So when I'm all done getting all that, I'm going to go and hit the main storyboard over here in the top corner, and you'll see your view controller. If you remember from your view controller, you can see that there is a pull-down menu right here. In that pull-down menu, it'll show you what is in your view controller. The other thing you'll notice in your view controller is that you have the little arrow. What is that arrow telling you? Is what is the first view that when the app launches, what does it see first? Not in this lesson, I don't think, but if I wanted to do the standard back button up here, I would actually add a view controller in front of this. You have a UI controller that goes in front. And that UI controller is kind of a wrapper that goes around each one of your things. It's like a floating above here, floating above. And then when the person goes to another screen, it'll automatically put the back button there, and you put it back, and it goes here. Now this lesson doesn't go over that, because they're just really teaching you about graphics and stuff. But in the next one, we'll learn how to do that where you actually have that kind of wrapper that goes over top of it. And the arrow will point to that first. And then that has all the sub layers to it. Let's bring our image in first that we just made. Remember the image we just made? Where are images stored? Images are stored in the assets window. In the assets window. In the assets window, to import an image, right now you have that app icon. Don't delete that. It'll crash if you try and remove this thing. Don't mess with that right now. It'll crash. But choose the assets window, and then I'm going to right click in this area here. Right click in this white area, and you're going to say new image set. New image set. Do you see that? In the new image set, you'll notice I have my 1x, 2x, 3x. You can simply drag your images in there. Is probably the easiest way to get them in the proper spot. I think you can also right-click and say import, but the easiest way that I have found is just to move the window around, open up your image, grab your first image, put it in 1, grab your second image, put it in 2, grab your third image, put it in 3, and you'll have them all in the proper spot. That's the easiest way that I have found. Again, it's called an image set. And you don't have to think about it. It will, depending upon the device, it'll put the proper image on. So if you're using the latest iPhone, it's going to put the 3x on there. If you're using the old iPhone 6, it'll put the 1x in there. If you use an iPhone 8, I believe it uses the 3x, I think. I think the iPhone 8 uses 3x. But the older versions use 1 and 2x. And I'm sure there'll be other ones in the future as well. What is it? Well, it's just a bigger dimension is all it really did. When you export it out, it makes one size, another size, and another size. And then, of course, they're all the same size. It's just, since it's a bigger dimension, it's a higher resolution in a smaller area. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's how you bring your image in. Let's put the image on our screen and we'll read from the book. So I'm going to go back to the storyboard now. I'm going to go back to the storyboard here. So let's read from the book about images and how to put images on. Again, this is what they were talking about, the common viewing of a UI kit. You'll see that it's a visual hierarchical labels. UIKit defines dozens of special UI views, subclasses that perform specific tasks. For example, UI label displays text. UI image view displays an image. UI scroll view allows you to put scrollable content on your screen. So think of when we're building an image here or the view, it can be made up of several layers. Each one does something different. First thing they talk about is, we already looked at that, is how to change content using the attributes. Views are often nested as a previous view hierarchical diagram. A view that contains in another view is called a child view. A view that contains one or more views is called a parent view. In this example, each cell in the list is a child view of the table view. Each cell is a parent to 3 views. A label that displays the city name, another label that displays the time zone, and a related image that displays an image of a clock. And that's what they're talking about, this right here. And then this, right? And it's all together in one here at the end. To display a view on screen, you need to give it a frame which consists of a size and position and add it to the view hierarchy. The area with the view is bounds. A view is transparent by default, so you can also need to set a background color property. There are some of the attributes you can change when working with views. So again, the view here is right here. It's this big area here. If you click inside it, you'll go over here to the what they're talking about is over here. So again, I clicked in the view right here, and over here in the very upper right corner, they're talking about the attributes, which is this one right here, the one that kind of points down. Do you see the one that points down? It's this one, attributes right here. Notice it says scale to fill right here. You can have specific sizes to your content. This is a view right here. You can have a structure to it. Alpha is the actual transparency so that you can see something that's underneath it, because views can be stacked upon top of each other. So if you wanted something in this view that's stacked upon another view, you can have it transparent so you can see through to what's underneath it. That's why there is an alpha option here. Also, you'll see it says background right here. So I think we have already adjusted the background color in the previous lesson. Let's try it again. If you click on this list here, you'll notice these are the common background colors. If you want your own color, you click on custom. In the custom, you'll get the color wheel, and you can adjust the background color again to your image, and you can change the opacity if you want, but that's not really going to change it because we have nothing underneath it. You got lightness as well and darkness. Nathan Explosion's kind of a romantic. We'll give him a little bit of a orangish color or pinkish color. There we go. I'm going to give him a little pinkish color background for my character. And again, it's called background. It's right there. That will be your default. The tint is the default for highlight. If you're going to highlight, it's almost like you can think of tint as being if something is being actioned, there's an option, action option. Opaque, yes, it's solid, hidden, clear graphics content. Clip to bounds, auto size, sub view, which means it'll fit to whatever dimension phone that you choose. Okay, so this view, it might be a default plain view, but really this view is then scaled to whatever device it's on. iPhone. What's the new one? X? I don't know. What's the latest iPhone? What's this VR thing or something? I don't know. iPhone. I have an 8. Before that, I had a 6. I don't know what the latest iPhone is. Whatever. You can just see how to make the background color. Okay. Let's read a little bit more from the book. That's what they're talking about in that section there. Where's my... So again, a tag. What is the tag? Alpha. What's a tag? Integer that you can use to identify the view object. Uh-huh.
My pen is not getting, it's still white, right? It's not picking up the background.
Okay, did you click in this window?
Yeah.
And then you went over here to custom.
Right.
And you chose a color.
Yes.
But it's still white, you're saying?
Right.
I don't know. I can come and see. on before, but there you go. You got a color background. Okay, so we have a background color. So what was this? Tag, it tells you if you can specify it at 0. It has, you can use identify a view object. Alpha, transparency of the view, we talked about that. Then of course we have our background color we just did. Stretching. Positions the view on screen. Right now 0, 0. Where's 0, 0 at? Upper, top, or left corner. So whenever we measure anything, 0, 0 is upper here, upper left corner, and everything's measured usually from there. Okay. Let's move on. Text, a label. So let's put our name of our person out there, and we'll talk about the label. So again, remember to put your labels and things is up here in the upper corner right here. If I click up here, then I can type in label, L-A-B-E-L, and I'm going to drag a label out. And let's put it kind of towards the top up here. Doesn't have to be all the way to the top. And I'll teach you how to do the auto layout. So put the name of your person in there. I'm going to put my name of my person in there, Nathan Explosion. S-I-O-N. Nathan Explosion. And you can move it around, and if you want, you can center align that right there, right here. So once you type in your label, you'll have all these options that you see over here. All these options. Let's look at some of the ones that the book talks about. Text, of course, is the display label text right there. You notice how it changes to Nathan Explosion in there after I've typed it in there. You can actually use this box to enter the text that you want. Right there. Next you have color. As you can see, there's a color option. Color, the text color. Alignment, technique used for aligning the text. Okay, you got left, center, align, and this is kind of universal, I think, is what that's called. What is this one called? Natural, that's what it was, natural. And then you have lines. If you can have multiple lines, or you're gonna have one line is fine. This is font. I have some reading for you that talks about to use the system font right here. You can use other fonts though if you would like. How fonts are used is by defining the actual options that you have here. So you can, kind of like in CSS, right? In your HTML and CSS, right? You could give CSS, and let's say you're doing web development, right? And you want to have your title of your H1 have a specific font, size, and color, and all that. This is kind of very similar. You can actually call these to have different options, and then choose them, and they'll take on those characteristics. Kind of like in CSS is the way I would think of this. You can actually add these. Okay. Right now, I'm just going to leave system font. If you want to change the size, you can use the actual right here where the arrows go up and down. Do you see the arrows going up and down over here? If you click up, you'll see your text get bigger. If you click down, you'll see it get smaller. Bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller, bigger. Again, center align, baseline, so on. Next, what else do they say? I don't know. They have lines. That's about all they talk about. The next is the image view. So we got to put our image out there. So we have our name of our person. Next, you want to put your image out there. So to put your image out there, I'm going to go to the very top where our objects are up here, and I'm going to type in image view. Image view. And I'm going to drag my image view out. Once you have your image view out, then you can specify your image. Now, by default, it's kind of more horizontal than vertical. You notice that, right? More horizontal than vertical. You can scale it as well. As you can see, I can put my cursor there, and I can scale it. As I'm scaling it, you'll notice the numbers show up at the top up here. So if you want to make it exactly square, you can. Mine, I'm making 140 by 140, and then I can drag that in the middle there, like that. Can you type that in? Yes, I don't remember where to type it in at this point. It's under here, I believe. Here. See the little ruler right here? If you want to specify a specific size, you can do it there. See the ruler? Not in the attributes, but in the ruler. You see the ruler there? See how it says 140 by 140 there? That's because I made it that. You can actually type that in. So if you're a numbered person, you want to do exactly without having to eyeball it like I was doing. Again, it's under the ruler there. You can type it in. Next thing you'll notice is it has some positioning and things like that. We're going to talk about what's called auto layout so that this stays in the center. I think we looked at how to make text go in the center that one time. Remember that? Where we had 0, 0 and it was in the center? Well, the problem with this, though, is we can't make 0, 0 because it's at the top of the screen. So what we're going to do is you can measure from top down and then measure from, so for the let's just talk about auto layout for a moment. Easiest way to center this is to say vertically center. So let's just talk about the name for a moment. Nathan Explosion. I would say vertical center 0, which puts it right in the middle. I know it's not 0, 0 in the upper left corner, but 0 in the position of the screen. Then I would then give a dimension of how far down from the top bar is. Then what I would do is then measure the space between the text and the image to position the image. Then if I have text down here, which will be multiple lines of text, I would then measure from here down to here. So I guess what I'm trying to say, center everything, then go measure from top down and from the text down to there, then from the text down to here. Kind of measuring from top down and putting the positions according to that. In the future, what we're doing what's called stacks. What are stacks is where you group things together. Where what I would do is take the title of Nathan and the image of Nathan and put them in a group, or what's called a stack. And then I could then have other content. Let's say you have buttons down here and things like that. I will put them in a group. Then what I would do is position this group to this group. Because it gets very tedious if you have to do each individual piece. So another way, it's called stacks, is the term, is to, when you're positioning things on your screen, is to group them together and then position the groups of things. That's called stacks. We'll learn about how to do that, but not in this lesson. But I'm just telling you in the future as far as things and grouping things together. Okay, let's put our image in there. To put your image in there, you go to the upper right corner over here. Go back to attributes. Do you see where it says image in the upper right corner? You click down there and you should say image right there. Choose your image and Nathan should be in there. There's some other options in there for accessibility. Here's the scale option. Let's not go there today. You can read about that if you want. Again, if your image is in here, they talk about putting the image in. Then here's the different image options. We just did that. We put the name of the image in there. The image highlight, the content mode. That's what they talk about, the image. And then image there. And the image there. What are some of the images? Series of images to cycle through when animating. So when we do an animation, it's like a GIF animation, right? You know how a GIF animation works. It's basically a series of pictures that it cycles through in a GIF. Well, how you do animation in here is the same way. When I do an animated object, we'll do an example where we have a music player, and as the music's playing, we want to have our the music bar. And so what I do is I go and I make a series of either notes or lines that kind of wiggle, and then you can put them in there as well. See how it's animated? Okay. Let's do one last thing and we'll take a break. Okay, one more thing.
I just couldn't find that page.
Oh, you couldn't see that page? It's lesson 2.7. 2.7? 2.3. You're on 2. Yeah, I jumped to 2.7. 2.7. 2.7. In the book, this is 2.7. Last thing, we'll do one more thing and then let's do the positioning because that's going to be the hardest thing. Okay, how do I get this to be in position? To do the positioning inside of Xcode, it just takes a little thought. I think I already gave you the thought process. Let's center this. So we'll put it in the center. Then we'll measure from the top down for the text, and then from the text down to the image of the picture. First thing to center, I don't like to do it as a group. You can do things as groups. I like to do them individually. First thing you're going to notice over here is there's no positioning right here yet. Once you start adding positioning, remember this is like layers in Photoshop right here. See this over here? This is like layers in Photoshop. Once I start adding positioning to the name, let's start with the name. Once I start adding positioning, it'll actually put the coordinates in the positioning here. The first thing I'm going to do again was the center align. The center align is, and let me move my window up a little bit here. Okay, I'm going to move this. Let me zoom in a little bit here too. Oh, I don't know how to zoom in here. Oh, I don't have my plus and minus here. There we go. Let me scroll up a little bit. Okay, here we go. The first thing I'm going to do is grab my text. I'm going to go to the bar. This one. See how it says align? Do you see that one? Align. And what did I say I want to do? Not horizontal align, but oh yeah, horizontal align. That's what we want. We want horizontal. We want it to be in the center. Not vertical, because if I say vertical 0, it's going to put it right down here in the center, right? We want horizontal. So I'm going to add one constraint. Add one constraint. Boom. Don't worry about the red line around the text. It's mostly just telling you it doesn't have a position now for vertical, right? It's giving you an error message, and you'll notice it has this little thing here. The vertical position is ambiguous. You see the little the error thing at the top? Because it knows now where it needs to be horizontally, but it doesn't know position. So again, I'm going to position it from the top down, okay, from the top down. To do that, I'm going to go to the next option, which is the constraint option, which is this one. Not this one, but the one next to it, this one right here. In this option, you'll notice that it's taking the data that it has already on the screen. So it knows it's in the center. You'll see it says 0, 0.5, 0, 0.5. We don't need to mess with that because we've already told it to be in the center. So you don't need to add these, okay? You are going to want maybe to add this. Tells it how far down below you want the picture to be, and then this one how far above. But you don't necessarily have to do this. We can take the picture and then align it to that object there, maybe. It's tricky. So to do this, I'm going to hit this little line. You see this line right here? I'm going to click on that. Right here. This line right here. And then I'm going to add one constraint. Notice the red line went away, right? The red line went away. So it knows where it needs to be in the world. It's depending upon, it doesn't matter what phone you're on or whatever, it's always going to be 29 pixels from the edge of the bar. Notice it's not all the way to the top because it's the safe area. Remember the little bar that goes across the top is the safe area. See how it's a safe area over here in the list over here?
But I thought we wanted to position the image and not the label, right?
No, I want to first do the label. Then I'll do the picture to the image or to the text because I want the space between the text and the picture to be the same, no matter what device. So let's do the picture next. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click on the picture, and I'm going to go to this. Remember this one right here, the one where it says align center. I'm going to click on that first and say horizontal center. Boom. Ah, what happened? Well, it doesn't know the vertical position. So what it did was it just squished it all the way out. Notice it says over here, scale to fill. Look at that, scale to fill right there. See that? So it doesn't know how to have the edges of the. We just told it to be in the center, but we didn't tell it what this is, and so it went crazy on us. So how can we fix that? Well, you can tell the content mode to be, you can adjust this. What do we want? We want to redraw. No, let me see. Fit. There we go. Fit aspect. Aspect fill. Ooh, that's full screen. There we go. No, don't worry, we'll give it the size. So I went to aspect fit. The problem is the box is still out of whack. Okay, the box is still out of whack. It knows it's in the center, but it wants to scale it to the size. Adjust image size, semantic tag, multiple touch. There's a way to fix this, but I have to just think about it. It's gonna be here, and we want to do preserve super view, horizontal hugging. Where was this? Oh, this. I want to put that back to 140. No, I don't want to do that. That messed it up even worse. Okay, let's go back to let's do this one. This is use standard values. Use standard values. No, it's not what I want. I don't know, I'll have to think about this. It's quite a challenge. I got it to be square. We added that. I want this to be 140 by 140 here. Here we go. This is what I want. I want to change this to 140 by 140 here. Width-wise and height-wise 140. We can give that square there. And then we can click on down from the top right here. See that down from the top? Add 3 constraints. There we go. Whoosh. Okay. Sorry. I had to work it through my brain first. Let me undo this. Undo this. Undo this. Redo that. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make the square the proper size, which was 140 by 140, right? Then we want to have it measure the space between there and the text, right? See the text? So to do that, we're going to use this option here, which is this one right here. If you click on it, we can then put in the size of the window we want, which is 140 by 140, and then how far down for the next object. So if I click on this one right here, see, for some reason it went all the way to the edge. So I'm going to click on where it says width and height right there, and I'm going to put in 140 by 140. Then remember from down from the top before right here, this is down from the latest object. So whenever you're measuring these things in here, it's recognizing the objects that are around it. So it's going to be 44 pixels from the title, because it knows there's something up there. So if I click on that, again, height and width 140 by 140, and then down by 44, just whatever the red line is right there, and then hit add one constraint, and you'll see the blue bar. See the blue bar measured to the text? Notice how this is all blue. When you have blue for blue, everything should be blue, should look good. So let's test it. Let's save and test. How do we test? We save it, save, and then the test is this little right here, this one right here, build and run. When we run it, you'll see it should be in the center, hopefully. So the first object, Nathan Explosion, the title is 29 pixels down, and then from the title down to the picture would be 44 pixels. Then if I rotate it, it should still be in the center. And again, it should be 29 pixels down and 44 pixels down. It's going to keep it in space. I know it's a lot of work, what we had to do, but that's what, This is the only way that Apple has figured out how to make your stuff fit on all the different devices it makes. By using this thing called auto layout. There's a whole chapter on auto layout. We'll go over it a little bit more, but I hopefully today gave you a little introduction to try and think about how things are measured. You align things from other objects. But again, in the future, a better way would be to group things together and then align the groups of things. We'll learn about that as well. Especially if you have a lot more stuff. Right now we only have 2 objects. But let's say you have buttons and switches and all those things. It's better to group things together. What's the group called again? I told you the term for grouping things. Stacks. Stacks of things. They don't use the word group. They use the word stack.
Word uses grouping.
What's that?
The word uses grouping and ungroup.
Yeah. Well, it's called stacks. It's the technical term of how they do it. So let's just end today. You can work on your lab stuff. I can look at what you've turned in, and then we'll continue with this next class. We'll continue the reading, the lecture part, as far as the coding part, and then we'll make sure you have your text for next class because we're going to do a text area with the scroll area, and then make sure you have some images. We'll do this one here. If you look at this lesson here, if you want to jump ahead, they do have an ability. Where is it? Here's the scroll area, the scroll view. Next, we'll do that next, and then they do have an area for the group of stuff. Where is it? I don't know. You'll see it. It's coming up. Oh, there's the example there of text. And then, oh, here it is. Here's the image view with multiple images here. Okay, so in the book they actually tell you how to do it, and we'll follow what it says. Okay. Okay.
What images? Those 6 images do I?
They have 6 images. Yep.